Hey everyone, welcome to Alice's Kitchen. It's an exciting time here in Australia. It's almost Australia Day, and this year, to celebrate Australia Day, we're going to be making lamingtons. Lamingtons is one of the popular desserts that I enjoyed here in Australia. So to start off, I'm just going to tell you the ingredients that we need for the cake. And then when we get to the icing part, I'll tell you what we need for the icing. We've got 260 grams of sifted self-raising flour. We've got 220 grams of sugar, 125 mils of milk, half a teaspoon vanilla extra, 3 eggs at room temperature, 125 grams of unsalted butter. This has been softened to room temperature, and as well our milk is at room temperature. So we are using our new mixer today, and we're using the K-Beater for what we are doing. So we'll start off with our butter, our sugar, and our vanilla. And we are just going to mix this on medium speed for 2 minutes. Now that's well incorporated, I'm just going to give the sides a quick scrap. And now I'll add my eggs one at a time, mixing after each addition. Now second egg. That a mix and now our last egg. So now everything is mixed. As you can see, I've put my mixer away because I don't need it. I am going to put half the flour in now. And I will gently fold it in. You do it gently until all the flour is mixed in. Once the flour is folded in, we are going to stir half the milk. Doesn't have to be accurate. And then we'll just stir that in. And then now we are adding the rest of our flour that we had left. And then we gently fold in. Then we finish off by stirring in our remaining milk. So once our butter is smooth, it's ready to go into our tin that we've prepared. As you can see, the sides are hanging. This is to make it easy for me to lift the cake up when it's ready. So I'm going to pour my butter in, just scraping the sides, and then using the spatula, I'm going to spread it out. And then it's ready to go into the oven. Remember, we've preheated our oven. It's 180 if you're not using a fan, and 160 if you're using a fan. And we are going to bake for 25 minutes, and then it will be ready. So I'll come back and show you once it's ready. So our cake is ready, it's out of the oven. I'm gonna let it cool in the tin for 5 minutes. Then I'll take it out and let it cool completely. And then I'll cut it into squares that I'll then use to make the lamingtons. And once I've cut it into squares, I'll put it in the freezer for 1 hour to 2 hours. And whilst that's happening, I'll be back to show you how to make the icing that we're going to be using. So my cake has been in the fridge for 1 hour. These are the pieces that I've cut up. So I'm not going to ice all of it. I'm going to ice half. So if you want to do the whole cake, you need to double up these ingredients for the icing. So in here, I've got 2 cups of icing sugar, which has been sifted. I've got 11 grams of cocoa. I've got half a tablespoon of butter. And in here, I've got 1.5 cups of desiccated coconut. This is where we are going to be rolling our cake. And I've got 75 mils of boiling water. So to start off, I'll just take this off because we are not using it for now. We are just going to put everything in here. Our butter goes in here too. And then our water. And I'm just going to whisk this together until I've got smooth icing. Right, I think now it's smooth. I don't see any lumps anymore. So that's what you want it to be. And then now we are ready to start. I'm going to try and fit everything together in my frame, including the tray where I'm going to be putting the cake once it's done. If this tray is not clear, it's okay. Once it's all ready, I'll put it on the main tray so you can see. Okay, so for the cutting, I've got 2 forks that I'll be using, and remember our cake is frozen so it doesn't leave crumbs. So using the forks, I'll turn it around to make sure that it's coated, and then I'll let the excess drip off, and from there, once the excess is stripped off, I'll come here and roll it in the coconut, and you want the sides covered too. And once that's done, it's ready to go into the tray where it will set. Okay, so there we go. We've finished decorating our lamingtons. I'm just gonna let them set for a little bit so the chocolate can just settle. And then I'll come and cut up one so I can show you the inside. Don't worry about the freezing that we have done to the cake. It goes back to being fresh again. And why we froze the cake was so it could be easy for us to roll it in the icing without crumbs going in there. And you can keep them in an airtight container for up to 5 days. So there goes our final product. Our lamingtons are ready to go in my tummy. I left them for 2 hours just so the icing could set. The inside is very soft and just the whole thing is full of flavor and it's delicious. So happy Australia Day if you're celebrating. If you're not celebrating, you can still make these and just enjoy them. I'm about to make my cup of tea and just enjoy the goodness.